with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like life, I'll rise.
I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the starless midnight.
Welcome to the Black NewsBeat, everybody. We're back. Listen, it has been a crazy month off. We did so many things. I am so happy to be back with you. If you haven't guessed, I am your host, Dr. Kimeka Campbell. And we are here tonight. If you notice the background behind me, we are here tonight at Hurston Manor. Hurston Manor is the Young Professionals of Color house. So we're hanging out here. We are welcoming our friends and our guests from the neighborhood and from Hurston Manor itself, which we have one of our guests who's staying at Hurston Manor. Sam's here. Hey, Sam. Thanks for coming down at the drop of a dime and joining us tonight in the Trinidad Great Room at Hurston Manor. So I'm very excited about that. And we have a lot to talk about today. So first I want to check in. How's everybody doing?
Great.
Listen. I don't know about y'all, but it is already the middle of September, and I am astonished. I'm astonished. It is September the 13th already. Where did the time go, guys? We had January. That was New Year's. We had February. That was Black History Month and Valentine's Day. We had March, which I don't know, Women's History Month that happened. April was my birthday month. I don't even know what else happens in April. Who knows? May, Memorial Day weekend, and some other things. Cinco de Mayo. June. I wonder what happened in June. June. Yeah, it was Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Wow.
It came and went.
Right?
Summer of Soul.
Wow. Yes. Summer of Soul indeed. July, we got to spend the month getting ready for the Roots concert.
Yes.
And then we were off for August. But something happened in August. There were so many things happening in August when we weren't here. But something happened in August. Anybody know?
That brawl.
Wow. That's the one that I was thinking about.
Yes.
I mean, the writers had it with me, okay? Because they were like, what? Are we having a show this month? Why are we not talking about the brawl? So that was really funny that, by the time the minute I decided, we're going to make August a standard month off, the biggest Black news story of the year happened in August. So that was crazy. So exactly, of the decade, absolutely. So so that was interesting. And the thing was about this is, it was on the top of everybody's mind. People are still talking about it. Who didn't see it, right? Like everyone saw it. People were responding from Africa and England and all over Europe and all over South America. It was crazy. So everyone in the world saw this brawl and was like, wow, what are they doing over there in America? What are they doing? Mm-hmm. As usual. They usually said about us.
Fighting back.
Right? So, and for me, what was really cool was all the creative content that came out of this. There was a moment in Black American history for sure that resonated around the world. So let's take a look at the official song that recaps for us everything that happened. If you're here in the studio with us, you get to hear the song. If you're online with us, you get to see the song. Roll the clip.
Nino, that camera rolling?
From the Montgomery brawl, G. Matt Cash spoke to CBS 42. He says soon after he first saw that video of what happened on Montgomery's Riverfront Park, he knew there was a song there. By Monday, Allen had released Montgomery Brawl. Montgomery Brawl has already gone viral with over 1 million views. It's currently #1 on iTunes comedy music.
Stop playing with these niggas.
Let go. Hey, I'm really proud of y'all. Montgomery Brawl. Bitch, not one but them all. Montgomery Brawl. Shout out bro that can swim. Montgomery Brawl. Salute shit, really all of them. Montgomery Brawl. Shout out Unc with the chair. Montgomery Brawl. Everybody that was there. Montgomery Brawl. Threw the hat off at the start. Montgomery Brawl. Man, shout out to the guard. Montgomery Brawl. Hey, now y'all done started some shit, so we gon' finish. Y'all did. And this time, everybody about to witness it. Bro told them to move, just doing his job. But y'all wanted to jump him, so now we got a prize. Let's get it. All right, bet. Let me tell y'all what really happened. Heard they was jumping on my cousin. Let me off, Captain. Cuz came out the water like, let's get it cracking. Came with the chair like I got some action. Cuz came no shirt like I got Sebastian. I got him. Even the women getting hit like, damn, what happened? Hey, this shit was kind of lit. Like, damn, it's cracking. I even seen a rock bottom. Like, damn, this wrestling. Seen a couple of them boys go night-night. And we got the first black man to swim to a fight. Salute. If you mad at this song, don't mention me. Don't do it. But fuck that chair going down in history. Hey, I'm really proud of y'all. Montgomery Brawl. Bitch. Not one but them all. Montgomery Brawl. Shout out bro that can swim. Montgomery Brawl. Salute shit, really all of them. Montgomery Brawl. Shout out Unc with the chair. Montgomery Brawl. Everybody that was there. Montgomery Brawl. Threw the hat off at the start. Montgomery Brawl. Man, shout out to the girl. Montgomery Brawl. Yeah, this is real.
Well, I mean, I think it deserves a Grammy, honestly. It deserves a Grammy, a VMA, because the video is also lit. Speaking of VMAs, did y'all see the VMAs?
Yes.
Let me just give a shout out to Meg the Stallion.
And yes, Megan.
And Cardi and everybody else. But
Yes,
Meg
Cardi.
looked,
And
and
Nikki.
Nikki. And who else? Everybody was there.
Everybody.
And Sexy Red. All the new phase, the old phase, everybody was there. It looked beautiful. Everybody was dressed, except for maybe like one or two people. We won't talk about them.
Yeah.
But everybody else looked amazing. And I was so happy to see just folks celebrating how many, you know me, this is the Black NewsBeat. So Black folks getting honored for their work.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Diddy. I don't really like him, but shout out to him. And people were like, why don't you like Diddy? I was like, it's nothing new. Like, he just rapped really slow in the olden days, and I didn't like it. That's it. There's nothing crazy.
He did give publishing on to all his artists.
He did give publishing to all his artists, and it's something to celebrate.
Yes, it
Makes
is.
me wonder, though. Why did you do that, Diddy? What happened? All of a sudden.
He's loved
Yes,
now.
we'll see. All love, right? Everything went away. Everything's fine. So we'll see. So I've been wondering, I did wonder, if you want to join that conversation, you can check us out on the Facebook page. We absolutely had some questions about why Diddy was giving the publishing. Now, some of these folks are dead, in jail, or otherwise out the picture. So it's just interesting that he chose now after all this time. Interesting. That's all I'll say. Also, did you miss us?
Yes.
We were gone for a month. It was crazy, almost a month and a half. Today is the 13th. Our last show was the YWEA show, the YWEA Takeover Young Women's Empowerment Academy Takeover. It was amazing. If you missed that episode, please go back and watch it. Yeah. It was so dope. But so many things happen while you aren't here. But the one thing I do always check in with is what the national day today is. Does anybody know what the national day today is? There's like 6 of them, but if you can guess one of them, you know, you might get a prize, and that prize is wine or beer in the back room. So tell me, does anybody know what national day it is today?
No, what's today?
I didn't know either. So today is Positive Thinking Day.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I like that.
I love it. So every morning I've been getting up, I've been doing these minute meditations. And one of the things, I just want to do this for you because it sounded so silly when I first started doing it, but I love doing them. So every morning, Alexa goes off and she goes, "Are you ready for your morning meditation?" "Yes, Alexa, I am." "Let's take a minute and do some meditation. Close your eyes, and I want you to repeat after me. So I want you to do it with me. All right?"
Okay.
Yes. Close your eyes, and I want you to repeat after me. Isn't it wonderful?
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 It is wonderful.
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 And I want you to go throughout your day, this is what Alexa tells me, and I want you to keep saying this inspirational phrase because it is wonderful for you and everything that you're going to do. Okay, Alexa.
Hey, yes,
Thank you very much. Got me right on my way. But for those of us who are a little more pessimistic, I asked ChatGPT. Which is my new friend. Again, if you want to see all my ChatGPT musings, they're all on the Black NewsBeat Facebook page. It's very funny how I asked ChatGPT to do things. So I asked ChatGPT to write me a description of Positive Thinking Day, National Positive Thinking Day, in the style of somebody that was pretty pessimistic. All right. Well, I guess if you're into that sort of thing, September 13th is Positive Thinking Day. I mean, sure, they say it's about focusing on the bright side. But let's be real. Life isn't always sunshine and rainbows, but hey, if you want to pretend everything's peachy for a day, go ahead. Just remember, a positive thinker doesn't ignore the negatives. They just, I don't know, hope it gets better or something. Hashtag positive thinking day, I suppose.
Okay,
So we got both of our sides, Some people are like, we don't believe in that airy fairy stuff. I, for one, feel much better when I meditate, when I do things like say an affirmational phrase. It somehow helps. I don't know what the science behind it is, but it helps me reframe myself into thinking even things that may seem agitating or annoying or a little more positive. So that helps me get through the day. But also because I have anxiety and the anxiety be off the chain. Is it bad? It's really bad. It's horrible. It's terrible. It's the most terrible thing that's ever happened in the world. That's how I get real fast. So we gotta, keep that under wraps. All right. So we have a great show for you. Oh, before I go into the great show, we have some people here that you should know before I go into the great show part. Yanni's here.
Hey!
Shout out to Yanni. She's like our show coordinator, show everything. She helps me behind the scenes. She is responsible for You Have Libations Evening. Thank you, Yanni.
Yes.
And Basir's here.
Hey, Basir!
Basir is husband as well as show engineer, show producer. He tells me when, I mess something up on the show. I didn't like that. So he does all those things. So I'm very appreciative. Love you, babe. You cute. Okay. So in addition to that, we have a wonderful show tonight. I want you to give it up. We have for our amazing guest, Monique Bryant is here. Candidate for PA10, Rick Coplen's here.
Yeah!
Toastmaster extraordinaire Thomas Jordan is here. And last but definitely not least, OBGYN Dr. Sharee Livingston is here.
Yeah!
Yeah. So we have a great lineup. I mean, we have a lot of cool things to talk about. So, but before we get to the guests, we gotta sweep these streets. Let's see what's happening in Harrisburg and around the nation. Well, it has been quite the month. I can't get to everything, and boy, do I want to get to everything, but I hope you enjoyed the Alabama Brawl. That was a very interesting time in Black and American history. But we want to talk about some things that are happening locally first. We're going to talk about our Broad Street Market. So on July 10th, the city of Harrisburg experienced its worst tragedy in decades as the iconic Broad Street Market was engulfed in flames and that was the original building.
Yeah.
Which is a big deal, was engulfed in flames after an early morning fire. After a swift and thorough investigation, the fire was said to be caused by a faulty ceiling fan. But what's not faulty? The market's vendors' resilience and the surrounding community support of them. It didn't take long for residents of Harrisburg to step up. And since then, the onslaught of ideas and funds to get the market back up and running strong have given the city hope that the rebuilding process is possible. And now the construction of a temporary facility is underway on 3rd Street, thanks to a generous donation of land owned by Millbrook's owner, Brad Kessler. Shout out to Brad. Thanks, Brad. I don't know about you, but I absolutely frequent the Broad Street Market more than anything. I go there Thursdays. I hang out with other Matt at 0 Day, and we have a wonderful time. And I see a lot of our neighbors and friends in there getting ramen, and they're getting food from Miss Marie, and they're getting food from Porter's house, and they're getting food from so many different people at the market. So I encourage you to go and hang out at the market, patronize those folks. That is their livelihood, and they've been doing amazing things for us. They are, to me, one of the only fresh food places in the city. And I know we have a couple other ones that are kind of move around a little bit, but that is where I go to get a lot of fresh vegetables, fresh fruits, some more obscure foods, and just quality foods. So I'm very happy that the market is going to have a home on Mr. Kessler's property, which is right across the street, so it won't even be far. So I'm very excited about that. Next, we are recapping the Wine and Jazz Fest and Capona and everything else that happened while we were off.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's start with a couple of things that I think you'll like. The Wine and Jazz Fest, did y'all go?
Yeah.
It was excellent.
Oh, yes.
Woo! So me and Yanni went there because we were on a special trip, but we had a wonderful time. But everyone was like asking, Kimeka, why did you go to White and Jazz Fest? I was like, well, honey, I had to go do some things. But I heard it was amazing. They were like, it was so nice. Our writer, Paul Hood, he said that his spouse dragged him out the house to go to this thing, and he was so glad that she did because it really helped. It was rain. The weather was acting weird this weekend, so he's glad that he got out to experience that. So speaking of success, the annual Harrisburg Wine and Jazz Festival this weekend was no doubt tried by Mother Nature, although hindered by the rain that damn near washed away everyone back towards the river. The highly anticipated event went off without much interruption.
Yeah.
Yes, the city with nothing to do once again had an event that was lit and popping. Jazz musicians from all over blessed the stage at beautiful 400 Park. Have y'all been to 400 Park?
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't been to 400 Park, you got to go to 400 Park. It is gorgeous. It is so serene. It's a wonderful place. So yes, please do that. And Yanni, leave the door open so you can just come in. We're in Hurston, man. Did we tell you all that? You're right down the street. Why don't you come and hang out with us? Monique, press 3 on that pad so they stop interrupting my show. So come down to Hurston Manor. Like, we are so excited for you guys to come hang out with us. Like, amazing. If you haven't been to Hurston Manor, oh, by the way, shout out. Hurston Manor is the YPOC house. We'll talk about that later. But we have some guests here tonight. Guests, make some noise. Okay. Back to what I was saying. So, yes, it was lit pop. Jazz musicians from all over blessed the stage at beautiful Fort Hunter Park. Along with great music and vibes, several wineries were in attendance. And yes, one of our writers was clearly fake mad. That's something you should know about. If you don't know about that, we'll get to it. Fake mad that they were not ever informed about the incredible wines made by the Black-owned winery, Mark and Val Wines.
Yes,
Now, if you have not experienced Mark and Val Wines, they are amazing. Their wines are delightful.
Yes,
You got to check them out. They're so dope. So the 2-day event was well attended, and the music flowed out of North Harrisburg with sounds from Julian Vaughn, Mitchell, and Marcus Anderson. Shout out to PHFA, Pennsylvania Housing Finance Agency, the title sponsor, as well as a multitude of other sponsors, also UPMC and others, for organizing this wonderful event for the city. Honorable mention here also for another wonderful festival, 2 festivals that took place in the last couple of months. Cultural Fest happened. It was really awesome. Shout out to all the residents of Dauphin County who came out. That was a Dauphin County event. And also shout out to the multicultural stage of Capona and Capona overall. So I don't know if you guys know, I tell people every once in a while on the show. My family, me and Basir's family, both are from Trinidad and Tobago. And the Trinidad and Tobago Baltimore Steel Pan Band was here in Harrisburg on the cultural stage. So that was amazing. I got to experience that. And then also Basir and is it Greater Harrisburg Capoeira? What are they called? Well, the Capoeira people that be in Harrisburg over here. What? Yes. They got to perform on the cultural stage. One of our faves of the show, Angel's Way, out of Lancaster, also performed on the cultural stage, and so many more people. So that cultural stage was beautiful. It gave us a beautiful around the world feel that I really feel that has outdone past years personally. So I loved it. We also had, if you guys didn't hear about this before, and I'll talk about it also too, we had a really nice time at the Roots. The Roots were really dope.
The Roots was great.
The Roots was awesome. And we'll talk about that more in our upcoming YPOC events. All right, so let's get into some national news. Let's talk about Coco Gauff for the win. Woo! This is very exciting. So congratulations to Coco Gauff. New young tennis royalty has arrived. Yes. Coco Gauff just snatched the U.S. Open title after a fierce battle with Arina Sabalenka. But the moment that had Christians and heathens alike clutching their pearls was when Coco took a moment to pray right there on the court. Right. And she wasn't praying for the win, but for the strength to give her all. Yeah. Amen.
Amen.
Because a lot of us, right, we think that praying for a win, if God doesn't give us the win, that God somehow failed, right? That's what sometimes we think. But sometimes the prayer is, I want to do my best, right? I want to do my best. I want to make sure that I give it my all instead of saying, well, if I don't win, I'm going to be salty and God didn't serve me, right? Anyway, I'm not a preacher. I'm a little ratchet sometimes. We won't get there. So So she took a moment to pray there on the court, right? So she prayed for that, the strength to give her all, which is just beautiful. That really encouraged me personally. What a prayer. So now personally, I've always been Team Serena. There was nobody else to see for me, at all. Maybe Naomi Osaka also loves her, but I'm really seeing Coco's genuine faith and dedication. She's definitely growing on me personally. And it's so refreshing to see such a young superstar being so transparent about her faith. Not perfect, but transparent, right? Mm-hmm. And on top of that, her tennis game is A1. So I was very happy to see that. She is powerful, and I'm wonderful to see her heart on and off the court. Love that. The next one we definitely have to talk about is prime time, type time. Okay, raise your hand if you enjoy silencing haters.
Yes.
I know I do. Okay. I mean, apparently so does Deion Sanders.
Yes,
Deion Sanders. Come through, Deion. Any college football fans in the house tonight?
Yes.
Okay, a couple. All right. I am a reformed football fan, but that's another story. Only 2 weeks into the college football season, it appears at prime time, along with his son, Shedeur Sanders, is primed to set records at the University of Colorado. Woo! After a successful run as a head coach in an HBCU, the legendary NFL phenom helped Jackson State become a respected powerhouse in the football conference, not known for its recruiting of 4- and 5-star athletes. Deion's success opened the eyes of several Power 5 conference programs. Wow. Okay. Deion's success. Upon making the decision to leave Jackson State, the criticism began in droves, with many claiming Deion was selfish and all about the money, when in actuality, it appears that he's about building a winning program and giving his family the best opportunities to succeed, as well as many other students that left JSU to follow him to the mountains of Colorado. Wow. Well, I'm proud. I know that he is breaking also the stereotype that you can only be a player and never be a coach, and never be a coach who is so successful. So that's a great thing. It's a great thing. Let's move on to Media and Melanin. This is one of my favorite parts of the show. We want to focus on a couple different things tonight. So first of all, did y'all know about another show? I'm on a podcast. Okay. Shout out to our newest writer of the show, Marquise Lupton. Woo! Marquise is coming up on his anniversary at WITF, which is an NPR affiliate, and he had this amazing idea to start a podcast and talk about what's happening in the Black and Brown community all over. And so he tapes this show 3 times a week, and it is on WITF. And you can, the podcast, you can also find on NPR podcast, which is what's so great about the show is he does 3 segments, interviews. Him and I do the top 5 on Mondays, and then Wednesday and Fridays, he has special guests from the community and beyond. So I'm so happy to be in partnership with him, and just congratulations to him. It took about 8 months to get this into production and get it going and get us up live. So congratulations, Marquise. You are doing an amazing job. So happy to be part of this legacy. So excited about that. Also, let's congratulate Frank Henley at Narcisse Theater.
Frank, yes!
On a very successful run of Dr. Faustus. I don't know if anybody in this room got to go to Frank's Theater for that. But our very dear, dear friend of the show, showrunner, Chris Gibby Gibson.
Yes,
Gibby. Yeah. Chris starred as Dr. Faustus, and nothing but rave reviews. I already knew that it was going to be great, but a lot of folks are saying that they saw him in a different light, in a different capacity, about what a great actor he is. And yes, I already knew that, but I'm saying I'm glad y'all got to see it too.
Go, Gibby.
That's great. Shout out to Gibby. Congratulations, Gibby. We love you over here, Gibby.
Yes, Gibby.
This one is a little further off the beaten path than most, but this is about the Super CJ animated series. Super CJ, the animated series, is for kids. This is what I want to talk about. You got kids in your life? Folks that you want to tell about something really cool? This is a new YouTube series focusing on Black children's mental health.
Nice.
Created by Yama Baker, the show features a Black superhero, Super CJ, and his sidekick, Rex the Super Dog, which I'm very excited about. The narrative revolves around Super CJ losing his powers when angered and subsequently learning to manage the solution calmly. So the calmer he gets, the more power he has.
Wow.
The CJ is the first of its kind addressing mental health for Black children. Alongside the show, Baker launched the Super CJ Children's Mental Health D65 campaign, emphasizing the urgent need for mental health awareness, right? That's an urgent need, especially given the alarming suicide rates among African American children.
Wow.
And honey, let me say something, not just the children, but the adults need this too. The constant, so I watch every episode immediately. And the constant reminders to calm yourself when angry were amazing. Because sometimes that makes people more irate. What I think the show does is it puts the power back into CJ's hands. It's not just calm down as a punitive thing, but it's like in order for you to achieve what you want to stay calm in the face of extreme anger. That's a different conversation for a lot of people, including some of our adults. So I'm excited to see what happens with CJ. Very excited to see what's going on. I already watched the whole thing. They have a fundraiser up to go ahead and raise money to have a full first season. So if you can contribute to CJ, Super CJ, the animated series, that would be amazing. Because I need something like that in my life. Gonna watch out. Next we have Bongos. This is all in media and melanin. Bongos, Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion.
Hey.
Woo, Bongos! So this song comes as a follow-up to their previous hit, the internet melting signal known as WAP. I don't have to tell y'all what WAP is. Y'all should know by now.
Yes.
All right. So what's funny about this video is that people are again like, heresy, blasphemy, nakedness, lascivious. They were very mad about it. I just want to say both Megan and Cardi look amazing. Now, Megan is always my favorite because I'm partial to like beautiful dark-skinned women. Sorry. But she looked like the sun kissed her skin, something special. So I'm very happy to see, to see both of them thriving. Of course, the visuals were crazy. I'm not going to tell you if you haven't seen the video, of course, go watch it. The whole world should have seen it by now. But go and watch Bongos. If you, are a little more conservative, maybe not watch Bongos, just listen to the lyrics. I mean, those aren't probably going to be up your alley either, but either way, check it out. It's amazing. The next last thing we have is Lizzo getting sued.
Wow.
This happened while we were on break. So basically, 3 dancers for Lizzo are suing her over a lot of different claims. There's something about a banana. I'm not going to get into it. There's something about doing things in Amsterdam. There's something about a couple other things. But what's interesting is there's been a lot of celebrity gossip commentary on this. And folks are wondering if the suit is going to get withdrawn. How many of y'all think that Lizzo did all this stuff? I know I'm encountering some of that. I'm mixed on it too. I think she did some of it. I don't know what rises to the occasion of a crime in some of that, because some of it's all she absolutely did. If you're out and y'all are all chanting, eat whatever it was, do the thing. What was it? Eat the banana? Bossier said it wasn't me. That's what y'all know. If y'all are out and chanting, eat the banana, I'm thinking maybe some of that's true. Does it rise to the occasion of a crime? I guess we'll see. There's lots of other things that happen. Anything happened that we missed that you want to talk about real fast? Always throw it out if you want. All right, nothing else. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
I'm sure something else happened. I don't even know. So, but there was so much that happened while we were gone that it was just kind of like
it was a lot.
It was a lot to happen. It's overwhelming trying to remember. I tried to write some of it down to make sure, but it's all right. So, into our next.
Trump.
Oh no! Take a drink for that.
That mug shot.
Trump, Biden. Okay, so Trump is up on 91 charges.
Yes.
Plus, some other things.
He finally got his mug
Shout out
shot.
to Fonnie Wills, though. Shout out to Fonnie, DA out of Atlanta.
Yep.
Because she said, I'm not giving y'all extension, so I need to come in today. All right, no, I'm not dropping nothing. Y'all are coming right now. So I did the charges to the Etherbeat. It's on my Facebook page, but check it out. It's very funny because she went through and said all their governments that she was the black one. Yes, I'm saying. Impeachment into Biden. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm trying to care very much about this. I don't care. I don't know. I can't care about it. I'm trying. Oh, yes. Come on in, sirs. Hello. We have visitors. I don't really care about it. So let's go into one of my second favorite segments after Media and Melanin is there's nothing to do in Harrisburg. First, we had to recap a couple events. The YPOC retreat. If you did not go, it was amazing. We had a beautiful weekend. We did go on a haunted boat tour, which was very weird. That's what we're calling it, the haunted boat tour, because baby, they didn't tell us that the lake was on top of 3 towns, Lake Palmpack in Pennsylvania, in the Poconos. Nobody told us. So they're like, well, sometimes the boats come up. Get me off this boat. Get me off. Yes, I'm serious. I'm on the boat. He goes, well, so they didn't get all the graves, so sometimes the boats come floating. Get me off the boat. I was very mad. Other than that, the retreat was amazing. We went to a beautiful restaurant for dinner called Glass Lounge. That was beautiful. We went to we didn't do much. We stayed on campus for Miss Money. Shout out to Miss Money Greenwood for hosting us for a 6th year in a row. That was our 6th retreat. Yes. So it's been beautiful. So definitely come out for that. The Roots we talked about. We also raised $2,000 for Adopt a Classroom. Yeah. We'll be opening. I just want to say it's a little lower than some other years. So with the portal still open, so you can give. We give $100 to $500 grants, $500 grants to teachers in the Harrisburg School District to help do special programs and upgrades in their classrooms. And we've done things like a garden program. We've done assistive technology for reading. We've done ergonomically correct furniture. We've done plants. We've done pots and pans for life skills teaching. We've done a lot of stuff. So please support us in that. Was anybody at the William Penn meeting last night? Rick was there, and Rick's one of our guests. We'll talk a little bit about that. It was interesting, and I understand people's fervor to want to save the William Penn building. I have my own opinions about that. I understand the community's opinion, but we also have immediate needs. Like we need to support the teachers that we have in the schools right now who need our support. If it's $1, $5, $10, you can trust us. This is our 6th year actually running this program to support our Harrisburg School District teachers in their efforts with providing push and support, push and programming for their students. So hi, Elise. Hey. I just want you guys to know Elise is here. Elise is here. Yeah, so please, Adopt a Classroom we are still accepting donations. Please give to make sure that these students have what they need. Also, I'm a little short attention span tonight, so you have to forgive me. So after that, we did our last happy hour. Listen, we was at CR Bloom's 717 on 3rd Street. It was absolutely amazing. Shout out to Lisa again for organizing, and it's one of the best happy hours we have had all year. It was so nice. We had so many people come throughout the couple of hours. We stayed late. We got to really fellowship with people. It was really nice. Shout out to Sarah Boswich also for having the party down the block. So we went and got food. We came back, so we keep fellowshipping. So it was really, really, really nice. The block party in Soma kind of complemented our happy hour very well. And Sierra Blooms is such a beautiful place. Please go ahead and book their services. You will not be disappointed. I promise you. Coming up, we have our YPOC committee party. When's that, Elise? Thursday, 5:30, right here at Hurston Manor. Again, we are at Hurston Manor. This is the YPOC house. We have events here. We host special guests, and we host overnight guests who come and want to experience something like this. So please come and hang out with us at the Hurston Manor. And we have an event. We have student parties for the concerts. We have other people come and use the space for their needs. Book Hurston on laculturahbg.com. And we also have other events that you can come and hang out at. So please do that. And then our happy hour is coming up at the end of the month. And guess where that's going to be? Right here in Hurston. Yeah. Please, bring a libation. We'll have a couple of these here for you, but come and hang out with us. Bring a libation, hang out with us. Coming up. Oh, by the way, did y'all know that this show is a partnership between Young Professionals of Color and Open Stage?
Yes, Open Stage.
Shout out to Open Stage. Open Stage is our partner in this. Our show first started at Open Stage in 2021. We started with a small segment, and then we went to a small segment, and then we went to a bigger show. So we had a 5-minute segment on another show, and then in February 2021, we went to a full-fledged show. Come join us in the Studio Theater. There is a lovely cabaret bar where you can get drinks and snacks. And it's really just a vibe. We always have a good time. Every single show, every single place we go. We've also had shows at Elementary Coffee. Shout out to Elementary Coffee. We've hosted some of our candidate nights there. Y'all know we're real into politics at the Black NewsBeat. We've also been at the Center for Innovation Entrepreneurship at the HU, which is in Strawberry Square. And we've had shows a couple other places. We've had shows at Bossier's house in Jersey. So please, come hang out anywhere we are. We'll have a couple more shows in these different locations. They're always fun. Come hang out with us. Also, go and hang out at Open Stage. There's a David Bowie tribute show happening now from September 8th to 17th. So if you like David Bowie, go check that out. And then we also have Erotic Fan Fiction Live on September 29th. And yours truly will be reading. And there's lots of other events coming up in the community. I know that Love Out Loud, shout out to Maisha Webb and Andre. Those are our friends. They are our host extraordinaire, okay, in the Harrisburg area. So they'll be doing Thomas Johnson's Backyard Comedy, which is going to be at the Bridge. And they also have their Thursday night. Every Thursday, they are at Anastasia's at 1535 North 6th Street, having a really cool interactive happy hour. You gotta go. Real fun. And those are just the ones that I picked out for tonight. But we have a ton of other events that are happening in the community all the time. So y'all check them out. At least anything coming up that you know about?
You'll know if you join YPOC.
That's right. I was just gonna say. The next item on the list is, still not a member? Are you a member, Monique?
Yes.
Oh, Rick, are you a member?
I'll be one.
Okay.
Oh, yes, Rick.
Sharee, are you a member?
No.
Oh, well, okay. 2 new members.
Yes.
All right. Thomas, are you a member? Of course.
Yes.
So we have some great members in the room. Please become a member. Now, when I first used to ask that question, people were like, crickets. So the fact that we have so many members in the room tonight is a testament to the work that particularly Elise, again, shout out to Elise, has been doing.
Yes,
to get
Elise.
members.
Good job.
Did y'all know that Elise is, I keep saying her name, but what is she to YPOC? She is the Chief Administrative Officer of the organization. So if she reaches out to you and asks you to be a member, you should do that. Yes, you should do that. She's working hard. Whatever she asks, she has a reason. Just help her. Just do the thing. So that's, and again, still I remember, join YPOC. There's people in the back that I can't really see because the last one I can see. You should join too. You should join too. Everybody should join. Yeah. Okay. Next. We made it to the first segment.
Yes.
I feel like it's the quickest I've ever done the first segment. Crazy. And I tried to drag it out too. Well, we have some special guests for y'all tonight. We'll be right back after this commercial with our first guest, Monique Bryant. Woo! This camera here. We are back, and we have with me my very first guest, Ms. Monique Bryant.
Yeah.
Well, it is really great to see you. We have a lot to talk about tonight. So first, tell me a little bit about you before we get into the big thing.
Okay, well, I am Monique Bryant. I'm from Coatesville, Pennsylvania, and I moved to Harrisburg in the 8th grade and graduated from John Harris. You know, it was John Harris and Harrisburg High.
Right.
Class of 1987. I am a mother of 3 amazing sons. I have 5 beautiful grandchildren, and I think that's it.
So let's talk about how I did not know Antoine was your son. Let's first talk about that. Ooh,
Both of them.
So he sends me the picture.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I didn't know it was your sister. He's like, that's my mom.
Yes.
I swear, I'm not making that up. I definitely was like, oh, so your sister. I didn't know that was your sister doing the shots for this. And by the way, the headshot, if you want to put it up on the internet, it looks really beautiful.
Yes.
It looks great.
Amazing.
You look amazing.
Okay.
Like, you did a really good job. I mean, he's also really talented. Shout out to A Little Photography.
Yes.
So you would have never known. I would have never guessed you had a child that age. Is he your oldest?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay, so he's 93, and you're 49. 22. Okay, so, but yeah, I was just surprised to know that. So you have been in this community since you were in 8th grade.
Yes.
Wow, and you consider yourself a housing rights activist.
Yes.
So tell us about that. What brought you to housing rights activism?
Okay, so currently, back in January, there were some circumstances going on with my house, and it didn't pass inspection. So after it didn't pass inspection, then it was cited by the city to be condemned.
Now,
So,
where do you live?
the residents at Governor Square.
Got it. Okay. Well, that's been a contested property for quite some time. as well.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell us about the history of that, a little bit about because you've been there for a while.
I have been there for 34 years.
Wow.
Yes.
So what is going on with Governor Square?
Currently, there is a bankruptcy going on. It started like a writing on the wall was like things not getting fixed. Then most people noticed the grass wasn't done. So, that pretty much was going on for literally the last 4 to 5 years.
Wow. And people were still paying their rent.
Yes. Yes.
Huh. So they're going into bankruptcy because of what? Okay, so nobody knows. All right,
Like,
got it.
literally nobody knows.
Right, literally nobody
it's just,
Did they just give up on the property? Maybe?
that's most definitely what it seems.
Wow.
For most, because basically,
Yeah. So activists are often inspired by a triggering event that makes them say, F this shit, let's go. Right? So what was the breaking point in this situation where you were like, I am not going to be campaigning and activating on this particular issue?
well, for me, I want to say it started about 10 years ago. There was a leak in my house. So with the leak in my house, I'm like, no, I'm not just going to let this slide. You keep going over to the office. You're trying to get things fixed, and they're patching it. So that's a trigger. You need to go to another authority to get some things moving. So basically, with my issue, it's been the last 3 years where it became exactly very severe. So I'm like, no, okay, we done been to the city. We done been, up to fair housing. So let's move in a different direction.
Absolutely.
So we did have last year, we thought we had a prospective buyer. He came in, his people, they were absolutely amazing. That was short-lived.
Really? Why was it short-lived? What happened?
There was some I can't say the word
Litigation.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So that was going on with possibly the city and some other entities.
Really?
And that did not work out.
Huh. So where is Governor Square now? How many residents are there, and what kind of issues are they facing now?
Well, right now the bankruptcy just went from a 7 to 11.
I don't know what that means, but it doesn't sound good.
No.
Okay.
So basically, I'm not sure with how many, because I know they were roughly saying it was like 190 families.
Yeah.
But, I'm not sure what's going to go on with everything. I just know that people need to pay attention.
Yeah.
If you don't know anything, it's a bankruptcy, so it's federal.
Absolutely.
Reach out if you don't have documents and stuff like that. I just don't know what they're going to do because a lot of people looked up to me,
Right.
to ask questions and do several other things. And there's not much you can do if a person is not already willing to do the labor themselves.
Absolutely.
So
how many residents out of the 190 do you think are organized around this issue?
I would say possibly maybe 10.
Wow.
And this is a dire issue for you guys because you could lose your housing.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That was most definitely a positive look. I did speak to the trustee because I'm like, I need to know what's going on, you know, because what people tend to do is lean towards the rumor mill, you know, and that gets you nowhere. Like, where's your facts? Where's your receipts?
Absolutely.
You know?
And so what do you want if you're going to talk to the residents, what do you want them to know about the severity of this issue? And what can all the people in Harrisburg do to help?
Okay, so for each individual person that resides at the Governor Square, your housing matters. Your voice matters. And it's like if you're running out of groceries, you don't wait till you're totally out of everything to go get what you need. So please, you know, if you're not aware, you can go to, you know, contact the federal courthouse if you don't have proper documents. You basically have to do your legwork. And the city of Harrisburg, government agencies, these people need you. There should not be anything that is not done. If you have not been aboard, jump aboard because we need you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So as we know, housing has been an issue in Harrisburg overall. So how does this fit into the larger landscape of maybe some patterns that you've seen with landlord-tenant issues across the city? Which have you heard from your friends or other people in the city?
Well, the biggest thing since the pandemic, I would say, is the dollar, the availability. And then, you know, in specific instances, you go to get something, let's say, for example, you say, oh, there's a house available. You go and then you look at it, and if people don't pay attention, there are scammers out there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, you just really have to know, you know, really what you're looking for, and don't settle. You know, yes, if it's one of those things like, oh, I really need a house like yesterday. Yeah. But, you know, don't settle. You know, it's kind of like one of those tough things, you know, but just kind of like tough it out and, you know, kind of like have faith. Do your homework.
Do your homework on it.
Yes.
We had a family that we helped on this show before that we raised a lot of money for before. Who they found out that their home was condemned and they had to be out of there. And they only found out that happened after they complained that the landlord wasn't fixing stuff. That's when they found out there was no notification from the landlord. There was none of that. There's none of that at all. So there are a lot of things we've seen around the city as well that kind of are just a big issue with housing. Anything else that you want the audience here to know or the guests on?
Just keep praying for the tenants. And, you know, unfortunately, this circumstance is not just in the city of Harrisburg, although we're talking about the city of Harrisburg, it's throughout the world. You know, like since the pandemic, it has gotten like tremendously worse. So, you know, you just never know, like when you're encountering someone, when you're out, you know, be of encouragement to one another. You know, and if you can in any way, you know, it doesn't always mean to financially support someone. Just give them a great, you know, word to help them along the way.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you, Monique. It's Monique, Bryant, everyone. Yes. Thank you for being brave and speaking on this subject.
I think one of the things that people don't speak about these things is because they are nervous about what could happen. So that's my call to action to folks. If you're nervous about what you think could happen, if you speak about your housing situation in particular in the city, please come and talk to us. Monique is here. How can people contact you? Facebook or some other way?
Facebook is fine. Yes.
Monique Bryant on Facebook. But we need folks who are willing to speak up about the issues, because if you don't speak up, you won't know. We don't know how to help you. So we want to help. I know I want to help, and I know my friends here want to help too.
Yes.
So please, you know, make sure that you speak up about your housing issues in the city of Harrisburg. This is one, but there are over with 50,000 residents. We know there are more issues.
Yeah.
Right? That's 191 families out of how many families in Harrisburg? So, you know, please speak up about your issues. We don't want you to have issues alone. You don't feel like you have to face it. Okay, Monique Bryant, everyone. Woo!
Thank you so much. And and we'll be right back with our next guest.
Yes.
Calling all members of the greater Harrisburg community. We need you. We would love for you to join the YPOC and become a part of our leadership team. Would you like to join our board and get great perks and access in the community? Think about it and let us know. We'd love for you to contact us as soon as possible if you are ready. You can email us at info@ypoc-hbg.org.
Well, we are back. We have yet another guest. We have been trying to pay attention to what's going on in politics, which is very important, okay? So we have with us here today, Mr. Rick Coplen. I have to say this every time there is a guest of a candidate or political nature. The views, so you saw maybe at the top of the hour, the views of the show don't reflect the views of YPOC or Open Stage. Also, the views of Rick Coplen are not reflective of the show or of YPOC or of Open Stage, 501c3 rules. Now let's get into it. Tell us about you. Of course.
So, Kimeka, number one, thank you very much for inviting me. And I've already learned a lot just from listening to Monique. And that's the sort of thing and that's the sort of story that motivates me. I'm all about trying to help people. So tell me about myself. Tell you about myself.
Tell me about you. Like,
so,
who, before we get into the political stuff, like, who are you as a person?
Right. So if I could, and I know we don't have all night, but I want to tell you a little bit about my mom. Because my values, my heart, everything that I do in my life clearly comes from my mom. Mi madre extraordinaria. My mother is Mexican, 100% Mexican. So I am 50% Mexican American. And that kind of, impacts everything I do. And I will tell you, among other things, that my mom was a teacher and an elected school board member.
All right, Mom.
And I am a teacher at Elizabethtown College and Moore College and an elected school board member. But I also want to highlight, my mom shared with me some stories from her youth. And of course, her example. Number one, she grew up in McAllen, Texas, right on the border with Mexico. Mm-hmm. And when she was just a small child, she and her siblings went to a public swimming pool. And they said to her, "You, young lady, cannot swim here because you are Mexican."
Wow.
So what did my mom do? She went back home, of course, and she talked to her dad, my grandfather. And he was a simple guy, a rancher, but with a 7th grade education, but he's a really sharp guy. So you know what he did? He didn't get angry. He got busy. And what they did was they put together a boycott, I'll be blunt, of the white-owned businesses in McAllen. And it was only a few weeks, and they figured out, and they let my mom and her siblings go swimming.
All right.
So if you let me, I'll go on all night about my mom, but I know we don't want to do too much of that. But I got to tell you one more.
Let me see, what time is it?
One more quick story, and this is important. So we moved from Houston, Texas, when I was 7th grader, and we mostly white school district there. We moved to Tyler, Texas, right outside of Tyler. Quite frankly, bluntly, a racist area, but the school was integrated. It was about 50% black, 50% white, a couple of Hispanics. That would be me. And I played football. So guess what? I was in the class with more African-American football players.
Okay.
So here's the real point. About that spring, my mom goes, Rick, we'll do a birthday party for you on one condition. Rick, you have to invite everybody in your class. Okay? Consider the context. So bottom line, of course, I did what my mom said. I invited everybody. We had a great showing of African-American students and white students. And I think all the neighbors were like, "Oh my God, what's going on here?"
Yeah.
So bottom line is what I'm telling you is that kind of thinking from my mom drives everything. So I'm all about, number one, I firmly believe, kind of like our country's supposed to be founded on the principle that all people are created equal. So I believe that, and that all people should have equal opportunity. So I'm kind of going on and on already, but what I also want to share with you is that given my mom's example, at one point in my life, I was in the Army and I was given the opportunity, and it was an opportunity that many people would say, don't do that, Rick, because that's not career enhancing. And essentially, I was given the opportunity to go back to West Point. I'm a West Point graduate, and essentially become what's called a project outreach officer, which is to go into schools around my area was the Southwest, into primarily minority students are there, African American, Hispanic American, and talk to those students, encourage them, and quite frankly, help them with their applications to West Point. Now, obviously, we've come a long way from there. And unfortunately, as you know, the Supreme Court recently said, oh, we shouldn't be doing that except for the service academies. My point is, I believe so strongly in that. And I can give you lots of examples of days where it was very challenging. In fact, real quick, walked into one middle school and I walked out of there going, oh my God, these kids, they sound good, but you know what? They're never going to have a chance because they don't have the educational background because the school's failing them. So I'm a school board member. I'm an Employment Skills Center board member for the last 9 years. What does that do? Just like it sounds, helps people get jobs. I'm a Rotarian. I was a key leader in helping with the Superstorm Sandy relief efforts. I also help veterans. Of course, I'm a combat and peacekeeping veteran. So I'm chairman of something called the Rotary Veterans Initiative, which helps students, Black, white, Hispanic, we don't care. They're veterans, and we're helping them get into HAC, Central Penn College, and I shouldn't say get into because they do that on their own. But we're helping them with book vouchers and device vouchers and some small scholarship money.
Very nice.
So
It's a lot of work. That goes into my first question.
yeah.
One thing that is immediately evident about you is that you are all about service. You've served on the school board, the Rotary Club, like you just told us, teaching, and now you're working on flipping Scott Perry's Senate seat. House seat. How is this House campaign part of your community service mission? Also, Kimeka personally is not a fan of Scott Perry's, but we can't speak for everybody. Okay? I just want you guys to know that. We talked about it in the show before, so all right. Go ahead.
So in other words, the question, if I understood it, is how is this kind of an extension of my community service?
What you've been doing all this time.
Got it. So number one, my entire life has been dedicated to not only military service, but also community service. And I'll just say very bluntly to try to help people. Like I gave the example just now of helping minority students get into West Point. I also taught at West Point. So what I'm really getting at is that I'm all about, again, going back to my mom, that's what I wanted to tell you about her a bit, is helping people. So fundamentally, I'm running to defeat Scott Perry, because we can all agree.
Now, we didn't even talk about what that means. What are you running for?
So
what's happening?
Thank you very much.
Yeah, all that.
I'm running to defeat Scott Perry and be the congressman for all the people that live in Dauphin County, Cumberland County, and most of York County. So it's the 10th congressional district. And Scott Perry, quite frankly, has been doing a terrible job, not only of representing us, but also, quite frankly, of harming us.
Insurrectionist.
he is an insurrectionist.
Is he not an insurrectionist?
Yeah, he is an insurrectionist. But
did he not try to invalidate the entire state of Pennsylvania's votes?
Bingo.
Let's really talk about that.
Exactly. So that's where I say Scott Perry harms us. I can give you lots of other, examples. Like he certainly doesn't support a minimum wage increase to $15 an hour. I don't want to do that tomorrow. Also, you just highlighted it, Kimeka. He voted to throw your vote, my vote, and everybody that voted.
I'll never forgive it.
No.
Yeah. So in my way of looking at it, that action alone said this guy's not qualified, shouldn't be our congressperson.
How did he even get there? And one of the ways he got there is because our district has had him for a long time. Two, when the district redistricting happened, we kind of inherited him. Three, and then 2.5. And also, people vote with what they know, even if he is not doing the greatest job for all of the constituents, right? Because once you become in the role, you have to serve all of the people.
Bingo.
And that's what people really don't understand. And the sad thing is, he hasn't even done a good job of serving the people who work for him. And that's really just sticky.
Could
So
I-
if you want
Can
to
I take up on that for just a moment?
Sure.
Highlight again. I know you're going to get at this. I think anyway.
No, right.
I'm all about helping everybody.
Yes.
And even in the last few
Oh
minutes,
yeah, maybe I will get to that.
last few weeks, I've been on Allison Hill. Right
So
outside-
yeah, so your campaign slogan is
Yep.
United We.
We all win.
That's right.
United, we all win.
I heard that. It sounds familiar. So why does it hit different? I don't know if you know what that means. Does you know what hit different means? We'll
Oh,
see.
sure I do.
Then what we are hearing from your opponents in the race.
Yeah.
Why should people of color in particularly
Yep.
trust you and trust that you understand and care about these issues? Because it's a very mixed district. York
Right,
has a
right.
contingency.
Right.
Even though Cumberland County may have a little less of contingency, there's still a lot of people migrating, particularly from New York to Dauphin into Cumberland County, for, due to gentrification, to be very honest. And for school. So how do we know that you're going to be any different than Scott Perry?
Well, I'm going to be a heck of a lot different than Scott Perry. Among other things, I wanted to give you the example of my mom, that mindset, the way, and I think about everything is like everybody's equal, everybody needs an equal opportunity. I've worked hard to do that. You highlighted, Kimeka, very appropriately, the slogan, but it's more than a slogan. It's also a commitment. In other words, united, we all win. I firmly believe that, and we need some unity. Scott Perry's all about divide and conquer and disunity. So, and also I would highlight in my school board races, in fact, in 2021, I was the #1 vote getter in an overall Republican area. And I know, it's kind of where your question is going at, among other places, but how can I expect to win and to defeat Scott Perry? Because I can get Democratic voters. I will. I've been out there talking to folks from Allison Hill over into York and all over our district. But without question, I've got the experience to be able to put into action those issues that I think are most important. Now, you ask an excellent question. So why can people trust me? Okay, I could get up here and say anything.
Not just people, because this is the Black News Week. Particularly
Okay.
Black and brown people. All right. Tell us.
So
Hold on.
it's all good. So people can trust me because ` I've lived it. I've done things to help the African American community. I've done things in Carlisle to include always I'm focusing on, hey, you know what? We need to help all our students. I don't know if I got to it, but putting all our children first was my slogan 2021, 2017, but more importantly, living it. You can go back and you can read a letter to the editor from one of our students where there was an African-American young woman and a white American young woman came to our school board, and they later on wrote, hey, Rick was the one guy, I'm not saying anybody else was doing a bad job, but Rick was the one guy that was really, really with us and supported us. I also, I'm holding up my mom as the example, but I can also tell you not only the whole thing about, it goes on throughout my career. In other words, I've served with African Americans, Hispanic Americans, Asian Americans, and I realize that even though I've seen the blood of an American soldier in combat, more importantly, I've seen the brilliance, and I do mean the brilliance of all of our soldiers working together, Black, white, Hispanic, and I fundamentally believe, that's we can do that. To give you another example, and you mentioned you and I were both there last night at the William Penn School conversation, and I was #1. I was there. I was there for 2+ hours, and I'm always going to these sorts of things.
I left before he did.
But you were there for quite a while as
For
well.
quite some time.
But my point is that I'm investing time in listening to people, and will take up their causes.
It was 3 hours and 11 minutes, just in case you were wondering.
Wow. To include, causes like what Monique just so eloquently described here. So I really firmly believe all that. I don't know if you want me to talk about this now or later. I don't know if we can see this or we put this up. You can go to my Facebook.
Did you send this to me?
I think I did. I think I did. But anyway, so this is an example of something we're doing this weekend, and I invite everybody here in the room.
Oh, you sent it. Did you send this? Did you send the pretty part?
I think I did, but I'll make sure I go home and send you another one. Plus, you can go to our Facebook page.
I can pull it up.
Rick for PA10. And so here's the bottom line. This is a community barbecue that I'm hosting, sponsoring, investing in as a campaign for the entire community of Harrisburg. And check it out. Who's going to be our primary entertainment? So I'm obviously saying showcasing and investing in these people. The Due Process Band. probably can't see it from back there. Some of you probably know the Due Process Band, a great group of musicians. Oh, by the way, they just happen to all be black.
Yep.
Okay. Also, the Scott School Positive Rappers. And this is a great story. So if you come at about 5 p.m. on Saturday, it's going to be at Reservoir Park at the band shell there. The Scott School Positive Rappers are a group of literally fourth graders and whatnot are going to be doing some positive rapping for us.
We
The
love
Slap
gospel.
Box,
They're my buds.
got it. The Slap Box, Taco Amigos, Covenant Candies. So you get the point. Number one, I'm showcasing, I'm inviting everybody, and I'm quite frankly investing in African American owned businesses and bands. So I wanted to highlight that. I want to invite everybody to come join us. It's going to be, I think, very special, not because I'm hosting it, but because of the people that we have.
Yeah.
And that it's all about community building, you know, and out there, and always I'm saying, you know what, please invite me to talk to you, but more importantly, to listen to you. Because I think that's
very important. Okay, wonderful. Woo. So look into the camera and tell us, give us your pitch. Why?
Okay.
Why you? Why should people vote for you?
Well, they should vote for me primarily because I'm capable of defeating Scott Perry. I will defeat Scott Perry with your help. And most importantly, I only started to get at it, Kimeka, but I will help people, all the people across our entire district. I already mentioned minimum wage.
Yeah.
Clearly, I feel very strongly. I'm in education. I feel very strong. We heard it last night.
Yes.
In other words, what's most important? In fact, one of the ladies, I wrote down a number of the brilliant things they said.
Yeah.
She said, our children are being failed at our schools. So I fully agree with that. I think we should do, and I recognize that's primarily a state issue. But the point is that I can do much more to help with regard to minimum wage, increasing our educational funding, helping with better health care, affordable health care, making Social Security bulletproof, Scott Perry and other people like that. And I could go on and on about all kinds of different issues.
Okay.
But I believe I can, number one, defeat Scott Perry and be much more effective by applying all these life lessons that I've had as a teacher, as a communicator, as a person that puts together partnerships.
Yeah.
Because I firmly believe, and that's what we're getting at here, it takes a community. It's not something the government can do by itself.
No.
Shouldn't even try. But government working with, people like this, nonprofits, academia, yes, very much faith communities. And I have confidence in all those folks. And I've been meeting and going to church services and then talking to people afterwards.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. I just want to say you ain't sent me this.
Well, I will. My apologies.
Because this is nice. Yeah. I would have known. I would have been like, "Oh, I'm gonna put this on the screen."
Yes.
So let's do it one more time. You got it, babe?
Yeah. My bad.
That's okay. That's okay.
And they can
he's got it. Basir got it.
Yeah, they can see it right now on my Facebook page.
Check what he's about. Again, we cannot endorse any candidates. We cannot speak for or against candidates on an organizational level. But y'all know how I feel about Scott Perry. I said him to hell several times on the show. So thank you, Rick.
Yes.
Thank you for. Your other potential constituents.
Of course I will.
What do I want to what? Oh, I'm sorry. What?
There is a comment. I don't know.
Oh, there is a comment.
Yes,
Beautiful. Of course I want the comment. What is it? Read it to me.
What about the LGBTQ?
Yes, love it.
Absolutely.
What about the LGBTQ?
So when I
Keisha, yes. Hey, friend.
When I say all, I mean all. And I've made that clear. Again, you can go back to different articles in the Sentinel and elsewhere where when we're talking about school board business, all students means all students, LGBTQ, everybody. Doesn't matter race, doesn't matter where they're coming from, it doesn't matter their social economic background. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I've got family members, not immediate family, that fall into that area, and of course I'm very supportive of them personally and everyone else. So
okay, I like to hear that.
Yep.
Any other questions? I'll leave her because it's important to know your candidates.
Yes,
right. I want you all to be doing your homework. I want you to vote November 7th, not November 8th.
Well, this is again, we're talking about 2024 now.
Oh, right.
For this congressional race.
Go
There
ahead,
are very important races going on.
Also vote November 7th, not November 8th, like the state party said. Anyway, and also vote in your primary in 2024 and in November in 2024. Vote every time there's a vote. Right? Be a super voter. Be
Register
registered.
if you're not registered.
Register
We're
if
going to
you're
do
not
that on
registered.
Saturday too.
Yes, we're doing voter registration.
Absolutely.
And listen, I'll say this because I'm a big skeptic myself. Don't take any of these candidates at face value. Research them. See what they're about. See what they do. See how they interact with the community. If you see people only coming around when it's time for a vote, then don't mess with them. Serious. So do your homework. You're going to see other candidates pop up. They may or may not be on this show. I'm inviting. Everyone's invited. Everyone's not going to come because that's how they feel. But people are always welcome on this show because we want this show is for the community. It's by the community.
Yes.
And we want people to have a real understanding of who it is they could or could not vote for. Anyway, we got other things to do.
Very
Yes,
good.
go ahead.
Very good.
As a congressman, after you win, a couple years in, what will be different? Like, what things will be? What new things will exist? What things will no longer exist? Will small business owners get more money? Like, what will be different?
Well, that's an excellent question.
Did you guys hear that, audience?
Excellent
What will
question.
be different if Rick Coplen wins? Will small businesses get more money? What will be different for Black and brown folks?
Right. So excellent question. You got all night? We can.
We do not have all night. We do not.
I'm just kidding.
We do not.
So I'll be brief. Number one, and of course the key, remember, is we got to elect a bunch of Democrats across the United States. Then we'll have the majority in the House, and it'll be easier to do these things. But first and foremost, I already said it, minimum wage increase, which continues on from there. Undoubtedly, that's very important. I didn't get a chance, but I'll mention it now. Thank you very much. Undoubtedly, I will work hard, and again, with the Democratic majority, I believe we can do this, to have a law and eventually a constitutional amendment that says for all time, women's reproductive freedoms are guaranteed. So that's something that I think is going forward. I really appreciate, the question was also essentially about economic development. And that's critically important. I'm going to do everything I can. I will be an advocate for bringing grant money right here in Harrisburg, Allison Hill, Uptown, everywhere. I think that's critically important. So number one thing that'll be hugely different is that you'll have an advocate in Congress. Can I just very quickly say, I was in Allison Hill a week and a half ago. I talked to an African-American man who said, you can't survive on $7.25. Then I went on, and he went on, and I listened. And then I asked him, has Scott Perry ever been here? And he said, of course, Scott Perry's never been here. Scott Perry doesn't care about us. Scott Perry's never going to be here. Unfortunately, I have to agree with him. And clearly, that's a huge difference between myself and Scott Perry. I care. I've already been there. I'll continue to do that. Another thing I'll do is engage the community. I'm a big believer in the power of community. I was kind of getting at it before. So enough from me. Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Unless there's another question from you or anybody else.
Any more viewers' questions?
Thanks very much for the
Thank you. We have an office in Harrisburg from Lamont Jones, our soon-to-be city councilman. Shout out to Lamont Jones.
Shout out to him. I wasn't going to drop any names. I'm sure he won't get mad. I had lunch with Lamont about a week and a half ago. And Lamont's fingerprints are all over this.
I know, it looks familiar.
So in other words, he's very helpful in helping me to craft this to help the African American community. And Lamont Jones, great guy. I know he spoke at the event last night. And all power to Lamont.
Absolutely right.
All right. Very good.
Thank you, Lamont. So thank you, Rick. Thank you for coming in, sit in the hot seat. I mean, the house kind of lukewarm, right? Thank you for filling our questions. We appreciate you. Good luck. And how you feel about your chances?
Very good. Very good.
Okay.
I believe I can do it.
Absolutely.
We'll see help from people like this.
That's right. So we will see you on the trail.
You will.
And good luck.
Good luck. Thank you very much.
And we will be right back with our next guest. We'll be right back. He didn't want to wait for commercial. He was out of here. All right, we'll be right back with our next guest. We'll see you in a couple of minutes. Bye.
Fuck with me, I'm Mr. 1-4. If y'all know me, y'all will. Bust the fuck out of me on that.
Mr. 1-4 said fuck up to we don't know.
Y'all know him?
Yeah.
Y'all know him now, huh? I know that's the fuck right.
Well. We are back.
Yes.
I hope you enjoyed the show so far. Are you guys enjoying the show so far?
Yes.
You listen, every time it's a Hurston situation. Also, don't forget, libations in the back. Don't
In
forget.
the back.
Okay, so we are here with our next guest, Mr. Thomas Jordan.
Woo!
I mean, it's a pleasure to have you here for several reasons. You have recently become re-involved with YPC. You also were the immediate past president of Toastmasters. You're also an educator. You're just an all-around Renaissance Black man, aren't you?
Absolutely.
So tell us, before we get into the heavy stuff, tell us about you. Who are you?
Sure. First off, thanks for having me today.
Of course.
Definitely my privilege.
Of course.
So my name is Thomas Jordan. Grew up here in Harrisburg, PA. Went to Susquehanna Township High School. I had the privilege of going to Delaware State University for undergrad, HBCU. Through my education at Central Penn College, in which I attained a master's in organizational leadership. I have over 10 plus years working in education as a substitute teacher, tutor, mentor, basketball coach, coordinator. In addition, as an entrepreneur, I have my own strategic development firm called GW Jewel, in which I do leadership, communication, educational, consulting, coaching, and services for individuals and small businesses.
Wow. I knew y'all would be impressed. I knew. So, I mean, we've got a lot to talk about. So first, tell us about your ventures with your small business. How's that going?
It's doing great, amazing. Definitely this year has been a great opportunity for myself to expand on it. Being part of YPC has also afforded me a lot of opportunities and free resources, especially as a Black business coming up. So I encourage everybody to check it out. Elise and check out the Black app as well. Very helpful. And honestly, for myself, I'm a servant leader. So I find an opportunity here which I can give back to the community as well and also build on it. Economics is an important aspect, especially in the Black community. So anyone as a small business owner, minority business owner as well, lots of free resources on there. Go check out YPOC as well and get a lot of information.
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
I mean, that sounds like a YPLC commercial to me.
Yes.
So, I mean, not really switching gears. So from your business now, you also are an educator. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so for myself, education runs in my family. I consider myself a lifelong learner. Shout out to my maternal grandparents, both were teachers. Myself, actually blessed to be a third generation college student. Both my grandparents went to HBCUs back when segregation was actually in place. So
What HBCUs did they go to?
My grandma went to Virginia Union, and my grandfather went to Morehouse.
All right.
My parents as well are HBCU graduates. My father went to Howard University. My mother went to Bennett College. And then for myself, I went to Delaware State University.
So you're not just a third generation college student, you're a third generation HBCU grad.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow. Yes.
Shout out to the generation. We want that. So tell me more about what you've been doing in the Harrisburg area. You've been here since 8th grade, but you went to Central Penn. Did you go at residency at Delaware State? You stayed on campus?
Yes, I was there down in Dover, Delaware, about 4.5 years. Shout out to the extra semester. Great time, amazing time. Definitely encourage a lot of people to check out Delaware State University or HBCU as a whole. And for myself, getting an education was interesting. So initially, I was a political science undergrad major. I wanted to go to law school. So I did the extra semester, graduated December 2015. So I came home January 2016. Okay, well, if you don't know law school, there's no spring semesters, so you have to start in the fall. So initially, I'm okay, I need to get a job. Previously, I worked in the Harrisburg School District as a tutor and mentor for a summer enrichment program. So I have my clearances, education background a little bit.
Oh, so you're going to be great to help us with the classroom volunteers.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And for myself, I learned about substitute teaching. And at the time, all you needed was just a bachelor's degree and clearances.
That's so true.
So I said, okay, well, hey, they need a lot of more, positive Black influences. I have some background in it. I'll give it a go. Start teaching old high school, Susquehanna Township High School, and actually got hired as a JV head basketball coach as well.
Oh, wow.
So I was coaching basketball, teaching there, and to that as well. Started working the Explorer program at Harrisburg School District as well. Shout out Ben Franklin, who's up there. Education, and worked in the Harrisburg School District even more. For a year, I was a building sub at SciTech High School, the honors geometry teacher for a year. Shout out SciTech, shout out Dr.
Honors geometry.
Let's go, King.
I didn't know none of this.
So yeah, this is something that, for myself, I enjoy giving back, being a positive mentor, especially again, some of these kids need positive Black male mentors.
Yes.
And young women as well too, quite frankly. And they're all
Big true.
so.
Oh, like everyone needs a Black male mentor.
Yeah,
obviously.
yes.
So everyone needs a Black male mentor.
That's so true.
All of y'all, the white kids, the Black kids, and Hispanic.
Yes, they
Everyone
need it.
needs mentors of different backgrounds.
Yes.
So, having, and what we usually see, sorry, pause. Basir's brother-in-law is my brother-in-law is a teacher in Philadelphia, and he is the only Black male teacher at his school.
Wow.
And it's a very good school, and it services a lot of Black and brown kids.
Wow.
And he's the only one. So when we say we need Black and brown mentors that are male, we mean it. It's not because we're trying to be cute or funny. It's because we really have a lack of Black male mentors, especially ones who can guide folks. You don't have to be majorly. You don't have to do as many things as Thomas does. But you do have to have a heart for guiding students. A lot of students I know, when you don't have a mentor who looks like you, sounds like you can relate to you, you kind of just go to where that is.
Yeah.
Whether that's good or bad. Anyway, let's go back to
Well, to that point as well, I think experience and exposure is a big testament. So for myself, actually in grad school, I did a capstone project and I created research on motivations of second generation Black college students. Oftentimes we hear about first generation college students, but because of the sacrifices of ancestors in this country, education has been attainable. And now we are a decent amount of second generation Black college students. So at the time, there was no research. So I actually created research on this. I did an interview about 12 different second generation Black college students. I asked a series of questions to them about basically their experience, why they want to go to school, what was their involvement. And I did a transcribing of their actual audio transcript. And through that, I did a methodology and I found two different qualitative points, which was experience and expectation. Essentially meaning that growing up, either a family member was a professional, either they had a college degree, the job they did required some type of training, or exposure to it, being involved in camps, being involved in clubs. For myself growing up, I was very blessed where the expectation was not necessarily if I'll go to college, but rather where I go to college, right? And just that small expectation, or just seeing people who've done this. And unfortunately, I think the Black community, because of systematic white supremacy and numerous reasons, especially in the inner city, there aren't many positive male influences. The people or we see who are successful, right? Maybe the athlete, and maybe the entertainer, and maybe the drug dealer, the dope boy, and maybe the stripper and person on the street. And those are what we see. And we have to learn when we talk about these kids coming up, we have to have a more empathetic mindset. It's real quick and easy to judge them, to demean them, they think they know anymore.
Right.
But also understand culturally where they're coming from, what they're experiencing, what they're what they have. No, I know the phrase, you don't know what you don't know.
You don't.
And quite frankly, that's very indicative in our community. So I think especially showing positive influences there's
a lot of information that we don't get because of people's, whatever the circumstances, maybe they just don't get that information. They don't get it. Wow. Okay, so one of my favorite topics we're coming up on, probably because it has to do with us here, but you are also the immediate past president of the HYP Toastmasters.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yes, so for those who don't know, Toastmasters International is an international public speaking and leadership organization. I actually had the privilege of first joining a chapter back in 2012 in college at Delaware State University. I was elected president chapter for 3 years. At that time, I learned so much more about confidence, self-awareness, emotional intelligence, oral communication skills, and especially our chapter here in HYP Toastmasters. It's a great opportunity to network with other young professionals, building communication skills, leadership attributes. With it being an international organization as well, when you achieve different achievements and certifications, these actually contain the actual monetary value for your job. You get a promotion based off of that as well. They actually see for leadership achievement. So that's been a great experience for myself. Allowed to network so many different diverse people, speak on my feet, have natural communication, charismatic skills, and overall raise my self-awareness and confidence and a whole bunch of skills.
That's amazing. Viewers, I want you to know that Basir was also a president of HYP Toastmasters.
Yes,
That's the connection here. I mean, among other things, Thomas is also a member of YPOC, as all of the people in the audience are going to become. Yes. They're not already. So tell us about, I guess I want to know and wrap up, what are some challenges that you think folks face in getting connected, in speaking to their peers, and networking, and how they can overcome that, and how that can benefit them. Because a lot of people, they can overcome it, but why is it a benefit to them? Why does it matter?
Yeah, so for me, I believe the language of leadership is art of communication. So essentially meaning that when you're able to talk to people in real life, it's a valuable skill that goes a long way. I feel like nowadays we're conditioned with social media and technology that we almost forget how to talk to people, have active dialogue.
Yes.
So many times people walk down the street, don't say good morning to each other anymore. So part of it is having to confidence, put yourself out there. Quite frankly, how I got on the show, yes, I know Dr. Kimeka, but I literally just asked her.
Literally.
I said, hey,
You were sitting, we were here in this room.
Yes.
And he said, hey, can I get a show? And I was like, absolutely. You can get a show. That's what it's for. It's for us, by us.
So putting yourself out there and taking opportunities. The worst someone always going to say to you is no. And especially it can be nerve-wracking. We can have illusionary, imposter syndrome and different things. So I would say generally go to different network events. Join organizations like YPOC, where you network with other people with similar mindsets, similar goals. And you realize, the other people way of thinking. I encourage everybody to start like a mastermind group. Just people with similar interests as you, similar ideas. You may not necessarily be there today, but you're building towards something. Get involved, especially on social media, things you see. Join different groups on there, even just dialogue, even if it's on Clubhouse, but you're talking about something positive or something moving towards a craft interest you have. Especially nowadays, start a business. I know sometimes people say so simply, I'm not one of those people always get 9 to 5, have sustainability, but also have yourself opportunities to have different sources of income and utilize your talents and craft. And so you like for people who have that confidence, put yourself out there, be different, be a leader, not a follower.
That's fantastic.
All right.
Well, this has been a great interview. If people, are you open to people contacting you?
Absolutely.
Okay, so people want to get in contact with you, and if you want to say a word of encouragement, you've given lots of words of encouragement.
Yes.
But if people want to get in contact with you to further talk with you about anything that you've mentioned, how can they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So first, for my business, you can check out gwjewel.com, and that's on all social media at gwjewel. I also post weekly and daily leadership content and activities as well. Additionally, I have new leadership courses coming soon as well, and youth leadership training, and also leadership communication. So check out my website, more information coming soon for that as well. I do free consultations. So you just go on the website, literally create a calendar link, pick a date, we set time to talk or email. Also, again, as a servant leader, as a mentor, and we want to talk as well. And just, I want to advocate for mental health as well, too. I want to drop it in here. I think mental health is a very, very important factor, especially also. We need to have more dialogue on this. We need to break down stigmas. Black men, it's okay to
So you're going to be watching Superhero CJ?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm tapping into it. Okay. So definitely check those things out as well in on social media. And yeah, send me an email. My information's on there. And also, I'm part of YPOC. Get the YPOC app. I'm on there.
It's on there too.
And the Black app as well. I'm on there too. So connect.
Black by La Cultura. Yep.
Yes.
That is amazing. Thomas Jordan.
Wow. I actually just restarted a new podcast called Well Connected. Check it out on all your streaming platforms, Apple Music, Spotify, like that as well.
Congratulations. Yeah.
I was ready to say except Thomas Jordan is.
Thomas Jordan, people.
Thank you, Thomas. That was amazing.
All the flowers to you. You did an amazing job. The fact that you're doing so many amazing things in our community is to be applauded, lauded, congratulated, everything. So thank you for sharing that with all of us.
Absolutely. Thank you.
That was amazing. Wow. Are you guys enjoying yourselves?
Yeah.
Well, don't leave just yet. We have one more guest, and we'll be right back.
Are you looking to broaden your skills in digital media creation? Are you looking to be a part of a great team? Well, we need you. The Black News Beat will be trying to fill various positions to help make our show a great success. We'll be looking for tech assistants to help on set. We'll be looking for writers to help write the show every single episode. Also need digital media assistants. Absolutely need some live audience coordinator. We'd love to open up these opportunities to high school and college students. We'd love for you to intern with us and learn more about the business and get your feet wet with a great company at Open Stage. So if you're interested, please let us know. We'll be taking applications via email. You can email us at Kimeka@kimeka.org. That's KIMEKA @KIMEKA.org. Hope to see you on the set soon.
A very special guest. Please welcome Dr. Sharee Livingston. We are here, and we are here with you, and we are very excited. How do you enjoy the show?
I am having a fabulous time. I'm having fun.
Oh, good. Okay, we're a little wild in here, but I'm hoping it translates well. I'm so glad to have you. I don't know why you said yes to come on the show because, people of your caliber, she's a doctor. She's a medical doctor. Sometimes they're like, ooh, she's a lot. But I think you have a great message for the people, so I'm so glad you're here. So I want to first start off with, tell us about you and tell us about what you do.
I was born and raised here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and I love Harrisburg. I married my childhood best friend, and he too was raised here in Harrisburg, and so we knew we did not want to go far. So here's an interesting piece of my story. When I was a very young child, I watched a loved one pass away in front of me. That stuck with me, and I love math and science, and so those things dovetailed into me following a medical path.
Love one, math, science.
Yes, and so I said, I want a career in medicine. And so I went to medical school in Philadelphia, and because my husband and I are from this area, we came back here. I did a residency at Penn State Hershey Medical Center. I come from a very matriarchal family. The women in my family are bad. You know what?
All right.
They just, they
love it.
They're strong. They have impressed.
Bad mother, shut your mouth.
Okay. And they just impressed upon us to work hard, to love your community. And so I knew I wanted to come back and surround myself with that energy. And so we live in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. We're here in Harrisburg all the time. My entire family's here. My 96-year-old grandma is probably out there watching. Cora.
Shout out to Miss Aura.
Yeah.
I love Harrisburg. I love being an OBGYN doctor. I love taking care of people and women from puberty all the way up to menopause. I get an opportunity to really insert myself into their lives and improve their health.
That's amazing.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So we have to, yes. Oh, Johnny's very excited. And she's right to be. But also, we just have to stop and say, your hair is real nice.
Yes. I was definitely looking at the hair. And
I was trying to concentrate.
Yes.
Wow. The twist out is
it's
crazy.
beautiful.
Perm free for 27 years.
Ooh, yes, girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, so let's get into a little bit more with you. So you are over a couple of different organizations. Flow, which is what we want to talk about tonight, but Flow people, y'all need to come back next year.
Yeah, we're coming back.
You got to talk to us about Flow, which we're going to back burner for the moment. But Patients Are Waiting is an organization whose mission is to eliminate health disparities by increasing diversity in medicine. Talk to me about the health disparities and diversity issues in medicine.
Listen, so since the 1960s, Black doctors have only represented 5 to 6% of the physician population. 5%. That number has not changed. That's national numbers. So since the 1960s, that's unacceptable.
And it hasn't changed?
It has not changed. And that's because systems are in place to keep it that way. It is not accidental. It is not incidental. It is purposeful. And so I got into the Patients Are Waiting space. Our mission is to eliminate health disparities by increasing diversity in medicine. We are in the process of building a Black doctor factory. We need doctors that look like the community that they're serving.
Absolutely.
That's excellent.
So, okay.
Black Doctor Factory look like?
Black Doctor Factory is not a place, but it's a concept. It's a concept of reaching further into the pipeline, deeper into the pipeline, and starting at kindergarten and building all the way up to professional schools so that students are well prepared to follow math, science, medicine, any type of healthcare careers. And so what we are looking to do is to diversify medicine, make doctors well prepared, breathe life into students' dreams. So we have 3 areas of focus, which is 1, to increase the pipeline of minority clinicians, to make that pipeline less leaky, and to support minority clinicians in practice. So let's focus on the leaky part.
I was gonna say, why is it leaky?
Yeah. It takes 10 years to become a physician. There has to be 10 years to do anything takes a lot of time, energy, commitment. And if there are things that are not in place, strong academics, family support, if you're trying to toggle med school and you're dealing with an aunt at home who is battling drug dependence, that's hard. How can they focus? And so we lose students who would make excellent physicians.
Absolutely.
We lose them along the way because there are things in place. Health disparities exist not because of race, but because of systemic racism.
Absolutely.
And that's what we're trying to do away with.
What does PRW do to eliminate health disparities and diversify medicine?
In addition to what we talked about, so we talked about the pipeline. What else are we doing so let's say you have providers who are already there. And how are we working with providers who are already there to demystify diversity?
Exactly. I mean, the reality is you need support all along the way. Entering the pipeline, so we cast a wide net so that we can bring in learners who are interested in becoming doctors. We support them so that they have a straight pathway to the bedside. And therefore, if they get to the bedside, they get to the patient. And then once they become doctors, we support them. We have a What the Health book club that we do the last Wednesday.
What the health?
What the Health book club we do at the last Wednesday of every month. And we focus on texts that are focusing on health disparities. And we want it to be a space. It is a space where you can have tough conversations, talking about racism, talking about dismantling racism. It should not make any of us feel comfortable. If you are comfortable with it, there's a problem. If you are uncomfortable, you are on the right path. And so we do that. We have a big diversity in medicine, 7th annual, 7 years we've been, hitting the streets with our diversity in medicine conference. It's the last weekend of September. We have it coming up. It's coming up in a couple weeks. And we've grown.
Now, where is it?
So it's in Lancaster, but it's hybrid. So we have folks come from different states, from different countries. Our patients are waiting catchment consists of about 700 students. And so we want to build Black and brown doctors, nurses, doulas, midwives, healthcare administrators, anybody that wants to serve in the healthcare realm, they can come to Patients Are Waiting.
That's amazing.
Wow.
That's amazing. This is going to be a really obscure question, but I'm in healthcare IT. Could people who are in healthcare IT participate as well?
Absolutely. Anything that touch points on patients, because patient care is what matters.
Yes.
Black women are 3 to 4 times more likely to die in childbirth, which is why I co-founded the organization, the Diversifying Doulas Initiative. Doulas are non-medical birth supporters. They are helping to eliminate maternal health disparities. The reason Black women are more likely to die is not because they're Black. It's because of implicit bias.
There we go.
Current and historical inequality, social determinants of health, systemic racism, all of these things. And so we have to
It's
peel
not because they're Black.
It's not because they're Black birthing women. It is because they are Black and they are the victims of systemic oppression. It does not matter what your socioeconomic status is. Ask Serena Williams. It does not matter what your education level is. It doesn't matter what your insurance carrier, who your insurance carrier is. We have to address these things by staring it deeply in the face and recognizing the core issues of it, which is systemic racism. And once we do that, then we can say, how can I increase the pipeline? How can I keep students in the pipeline? And what that means is educate them early so that they are well prepared to go into whatever field that they want.
Yes.
We know everybody isn't designed to become a doctor.
Yes.
But if someone wants to serve in healthcare, then our doors are open.
Absolutely.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
You've told so much about your organization. Patients are awaiting the
Diversifying Doula Initiative. Yeah, DDI.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So tell us, how can we support your organizations?
So you can go to patientsarewaiting.com and look us up, support us, send young learners to our conferences. Patients Are Waiting is busy all throughout the year. We have a Pipeline Dreams high school program where we take 11th and 12th grade high school students, and we spend 12 weeks getting them prepared for a health disparities research project.
Beautiful.
We pour life into the students. We do that in the spring, and then we have our summer internships because we need Black researchers. We don't need to just be on the other side of research. We need to be the researchers.
Absolutely.
And then we finish off with our Diversity in Medicine conference in the fall. So visit our website, send the young learners our way because we have a lot for them.
Absolutely. Wow. I try not to be like too much of a fan, but I mean, this is amazing. Information. And so if there is anything else you want the folks to know, please look into the camera and tell them what else you want folks to know.
I want people to know that Black lives do matter. Infant lives matter. Infant lives matter. I am tired of folks telling us that because we're Black, we're going to die sooner. We're going to die a worse death. That doesn't have to be. We can peel away the layers and bring joy into every part of our lives.
I love this.
Beautiful. I love that. Dr. Sharee Livingston, everyone. Yes. Thank you for rounding us out, for bringing us home. This has been beautiful. I am so happy that you're here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Kimeka.
Yes. I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, Phil.
I do.
I'm very glad
I had a
for
great
that.
time.
We'll be right back with Last Lap. We're almost out of here, y'all. Let's go. Woo! Well, it is Last Lap. We're getting out of here. We are almost gone. First, I want to say we had a wonderful month off. We did so many things. And I realized that community and what this show is about means the world to me. And, you know, sometimes I doubt myself, but I want to thank y'all for rocking with us, for coming on the show, for being guests, for being audience members. You guys really make this worthwhile. I just want to say thank you. I want to say thank you very much.
Yes.
Secondly, I know you haven't heard me mention it probably the whole episode, except for once. We're doing our Juneteenth kickoff soon.
Yeah.
So look out for that. We're going to do it probably end of September in a couple weeks or beginning of October in maybe 2 to 3 weeks. So we should look out for our Juneteenth kickoff. We're going to talk about what we're going to do for 2024. Woo! And talk about our accomplishments of 2023.
Yes.
If you did not come to Juneteenth and you're like, why is this girl still talking about Juneteenth? It's because Juneteenth is an important way to situate particularly Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the state of Pennsylvania, and connect us to the entire emancipation landscape across the country. So this is important work, right? We're returning economic advancement opportunity
and literal dollars back to the Black community, because that was the point of Juneteenth. The point was for emancipation. The point was to return that economic power back to Black communities that we've been using all that time to enrich this entire country, to build the entire country. So look out for that. We're going to keep building on what we've done in the last couple of years. If you did not know, we serviced 3,200 or so visitors and patrons to all of our events in 2023. Woo-hoo! And we're looking to do more in 2024, okay?
That's right.
Usually I send folks to hell. I'm not sending my home, I'm just very excited to do that. I will resume sending to hell next time. But we have 3 shows this month. This is the first of 3. Next week we will be at Open Stage, and the week after we will be at Open Stage.
Yes.
Next week is a Tuesday, we'll be at Open Stage. So 6 days from now, wow. And then the next week will be a Wednesday, we'll be at Open Stage 8 days from next Tuesday. So come check us out, come hang out. Beautiful cabaret bar, please patronize Open Stage. I'm also on the board, so I'm a little biased. It's a wonderful theater in the city, and so is Yanni. And it's a wonderful theater in Harrisburg that is doing the work of melding the bridge between theater and education for the masses. So you should really come check out their work, come check out what they're doing, come check out the show.
Yes.
Yeah, it's real fun in the studio audience. And, you know, if you're an adult, you can get drinks. If you're not an adult, you can get snacks.
Yeah.
You can get snacks. So I'm thanking you guys, as I say at the end of every show, big up yourselves.
Yes.
Make this show amazing once again. And if nobody has told you yet, you are powerful. You are wonderful. If nobody is going to do it, you do it, and bring somebody else home with you.
Yes.
That's the point of the story. All right. So I love y'all, and I'll see you not in 2 weeks, but next week, Tuesday. Good night.
You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness. But still, like life, I'll rise.
I refuse to accept the view that mankind is so tragically bound to the stars.